What's up guys, today, I explain you My Hero Academia, how Bakugo could become the #1 hero. My Hero Academia concluded recently, and fans got to see somewhat of a divisive conclusion to the story. While many fans who were overly emotional at the way the manga concluded, and were finally happy that their favorite characters got the ending that they deserved, others were shocked as to how many loose ends there were, and how rushed the story felt. At the same time, some conclusions that the author gave to his character did not feel deserved at all, and it was bound to annoy the fans. But there are certainly those who received the conclusions that they deserved, and one of them is among the most important characters in My Hero Academia, Bakugo Katsuki. Fans know him to be very powerful, and at the end of the series, he ended up becoming one of the greatest heroes. Yet, Bakugo was not the #1 when the story concluded for good. In the final war saga of My Hero Academia, fans got to see Bakugo play a major role. At first, he was seen fighting against Shigaraki, along with other heroes, and he did his best to hold him at bay. In fact, in this fight, Bakugo got many opportunities to showcase his growth. He was seen going from strength to strength, and even managed to awaken his quirk for the first time. When that happened, for a brief moment, he was even able to overwhelm Shigaraki, but he was struck down before he could explore his full powers, and was on the brink of death. After being saved by Best Jeanist and Edgeshot, Bakugo got the opportunity to shine in the final war arc, this time against the greatest evil of all for one. In doing so, Bakugo saved the life of All Might from the grasp of death itself, and he then reached the level that he believed even Izuku couldn't. According to him, he could even surpass, and he proved this by fighting against All for One. Bakugo continued to learn more about his awakening, and figured out how to make the best use of the powers that he had. He adapted to this new power quickly, and reached a level that even shocked the greatest evil of all time. Bakugo surpassed him in strength and speed, and even though he didn't have similar firepower, he was able to fight in ways that allowed him to hold the upper hand. In the end, he was able to crush All for One all by himself, which was a magnificent feat for anyone in the story to accomplish. Clearly, come the end of the war, Bakugo was already one of the strongest heroes of all time, which is proof of the fact that his growth has been extremely exciting throughout the run of My Hero Academia, and that there was an even brighter future for him to look forward to in the story. When My Hero Academia ended, fans got to see quite a lot of exciting developments in the story. For one, all the students from Class 1 had graduated. Then, there was an 8-year time skip. Fans saw this time skip through Deku's point of view, and it was revealed that he had lost the power of One for All permanently. At the same time, it was also revealed to the fans that Deku, who is now quirkless, worked at UA as a teacher. He believed that he still had a purpose to serve, even without a quirk, and that he could guide the next generation to a brighter future. Deku did that incredibly well, and while he managed his role, Bakugo managed his own. While Deku was teaching, Bakugo was learning ways of being a successful pro hero. In the last chapter of My Hero Academia, it was revealed that Bakugo was shooting up the hero rankings, but was failing to crack the top positions. This was largely due to his rash demeanor and short temper. Shoto and Bakugo were both far from the top spot. According to Aizawa, Shoto is going to overtake Bakugo in the rankings because of his calm and kind demeanor. Meanwhile, Bakugo was likely to drop because he doesn't respect his fans the way others do. Of course, even though he's rude, one absolutely cannot ignore the fact that Bakugo is incredibly powerful, and that alone is enough to see him in the top 5. Bakugo would most certainly be in the top 5 as a pro hero, and that is something he deserves. In fact, it wouldn't be a stretch to say that he should be competing with Mirio for the top spot in the country. It was established in My Hero Academia's last chapter that Bakugo had what it takes to be a very special hero, but his personality was holding him back. This is something that he needs to work on. Perhaps, there can be another character arc for Bakugo Katsuki here. Just as he learned to apologize to Deku, he can work on his short temper, and become a much kinder individual. If that were to happen, then, there's absolutely no one who can stop Bakugo from becoming the top hero in the country. He already has immense strength, as fans have seen in the final war. In fact, ever since then, his strength has increased by many times. On top of that, fans also know that Bakugo makes use of new hero equipment. As was mentioned in the last chapter, hero equipments have come very far over the years and greatly add to one's power. Clearly, Bakugo's strength at the end of the story is much greater than it was in the final war when he beat All for One in an injured state. This is proof of the fact that he can go on to become the top hero in Japan. only if he works on his personality. It would be extremely exciting to see Bakugo work on his character, reflect on his actions, and be kinder in general. If he manages to accomplish that, then he can go head-to-head with Mirio for the spot of the top hero and eventually claim it as well. Of course, whether or not Bakugo will go on to become the #1 hero depends on how the author wants the series to progress. For now, there is no sequel to My Hero Academia that has been announced. As a result, fans know that it is going to be incredibly difficult for Bakugo to be shown as the #1 hero. But, if My Hero Academia does ever continue, Bakugo could very well rise to the top.